Hey, this is David Asarno. I am so excited to be here with Henry Friedman. I met Henry 28 years ago when I was 22 years old, and Henry happened to be my first client. In fact, on the drive over to meet you, Henry, my boss at the time said, I just want to let you know that the last rep who was with the company 25 years ago is no longer here because he couldn't handle Henry. Can you believe someone would say something like that?
But he has a Yiddish cop, right?
He didn't know that. You didn't know that at the time.
That's right.
And so, Henry, first of all, I want to thank you for taking the time to be here with us today. It's such an honor.
No, I told I would get a gratuity like $1 million check.
The $1 million check?
Yeah.
A million ruble check?
That's right, yeah. Yen.
Yen. He wants 1 million yen.
Yeah, that's right.
And so, Henry, let's fast forward. So, one of the things that I wrote about you in a book, right? So I had an opportunity so what happened is after Henry retired, I literally was with you for 1 year until you retired. And I looked you up and I found you through your son.
That's right.
And I called
at the CNN Center.
At the CNN Center. So after you retired, you used to call me up and say, hey Dave, can you come over and help my son with his computers?
That's right.
And we lost touch over the years, and about 4 months ago, I called up and you called me right back and we saw each other face to face. And one of the things that I gave you was this book. I wrote a chapter in this book about you and tell me what you remember about the chapter.
I remember the chapter that when you gave it to me, that beautiful bookmark wasn't there yet.
The beautiful bookmarks weren't on there yet.
That's right.
But I remember reading you the chapter in the book, and you're like, that's not me. I didn't do that. That's not true.
Exactly.
So the funny thing about it is when we have two stories that happen, one person has one memory, one person has another.
That's right.
My recollection was that I used to get these wonderful phone calls in the morning at about 6:30 in the morning, and it was said, David.
Ring, ring.
Ring, ring. David, are you awake yet? Of course, Mr. Friedman. I need a cup of straw. I need a box of straws. I need cutlery. Can you go to Conyers and get them for me? Yes, Mr. Friedman. And then I would bring them to the warehouse. And that went on for months and months and months. And one of the things that I appreciated that you did was you were tough. You were going to make me work and earn your respect.
Exactly. I'm still tough.
You're still tough?
It is very tough, right?
Tough exterior with a soft inside.
I don't know. I'm the strong man. There's nothing inside.
So the people who watch our podcast are people who are entrepreneurs, they're business people, they're salespeople. What are some of the things that over the years when you were working with people calling on you that you looked for?
I was looking for honesty. I was looking for people to willing to work hard because it's nothing easy in life. And I have to trust somebody before I open up and even just to start a conversation. I need to know that is the mind in it and they're willing to work hard and not to take things for granted. I don't like to. I hate lazy people, and I want people to work hard and be honest, because life is not easy.
Tell me more about that.
I don't know. That's my favorite word. I don't know. And I like honesty in people. And
tell me some of your favorite memories when when you were in corporate America?
This was when I first came here, and I became a house painter. And I was afraid of heights, and we were painting in a place maybe 40 feet high up, and was shaking like a leaf. And the only solid thing I was holding on to the handle of one paintbrush, because I just didn't fall down. But anyway, that was my first memory. But rapidly, things became quite fortunate. I established myself, and I married, and everything just fall in places, and I don't have no regret, not 1 second of regret of my lifetime. I feel like I accomplished a lot, and no regrets.
One of the things that when we were together last time, you talked about how grateful you were and blessed you were for the life that you've had.
Right. I mean, like many times I wake up in the morning and bless Almighty how fortunate I am. I have nothing but wonderful memories, and from the beginning till the end, I just wonder, do I deserve it? Because, like I said, I try to do my best to treat people the way I want to be treated myself.
Now, you expected people to show up. You expected people to be truthful. You expected someone to do that consistently to prove themselves.
Exactly. I don't like when people say something and they don't follow through. I can't stand when people take things not to respect somebody else. I enjoy people who are honest. I like when people are working hard to try to improve themselves, because I do believe that after we're gone, that remember something, that I accomplished something, that's something I'm proud what I did. And I'm very proud of myself that I treat people with respect. That's how I want to treat people with respect. And I expect respect. I expect hard work. The end result that I'm very grateful for everything what happened.
Now, when you, after World War II, you ended up going to Italy.
Right.
Now, did you speak Italian?
A little bit. I mean, like I say, if you don't use it, you lose it. But the language was never an issue with me. Like I said, where I was born in Hungary, in Romania, Hungarian.
In Transylvania.
It's Transylvania. So language was never difficult for me. Like I spoke many languages, so including Latin, and the transition was very easy for me as far as language was. But when I arrived in Italy, very shortly I became almost like an interpreter overnight.
And so when you went to Italy, what kind of job did you do?
I was painting. I was painting. I was never too good to do nothing, but I was able to make a living. I was doing stage painting in theaters, the background, the stage, and like I said, I was able to fool people, but able to earn a living. I was painting stage painting. I was painting placards, which I was able to sell to different organizations. And like I said, that making placard, I was making it quite professional looking. And like I said, I was able to write in Hebrew, and I was able to make a living that way.
Now, how many years what year did you come to the United States?
1950.
In 1950.
I remember I arrived in Atlanta in 1950, and my recollection was what a wonderful place, but always remember that we went to, I think it was a Beaufort Highway, a lot of highway. It was a lake, and I don't know, it sticks out in my mind that went to the lake, and when we left the lake, it was a big sign, no Jews are welcome, no blacks or Jews are welcome on this lake. This was 1950, and this I will never forget. But thank Almighty that things changed in more than one way, politically, financially, that it became easier. A Jewish person in a bank, I could address more than like a teller in a bank. In the insurance business, no Jew was able to achieve a career higher than a teller. No agency was given to a Jew, but it was by name of Weinstein, the founder of National Linen, who made things change. And then, like I said, thank Almighty because anti-Semitism was very, very hard all my life. And the United States kind of changed overnight.
You didn't expect it when you came here, though, did you? Or did you?
Right, I didn't expect. But for matter of fact, for some reason, I didn't believe. I kind of smiling, thinking back. I didn't want to even apply to Social Security because I never believed that I would attain longevity. And like a United States was like a Mecca, was a paradise for me.
And it became a paradise for you.
It is a paradise. Like looking around, it is a beautiful home. It's like I'm still dreaming.
Well, you're more than dreaming. You're here with me.
Look at you, it's like a nightmare.
So you came here and you met the founder of National Linen, and they gave you an opportunity.
They gave me an opportunity, right?
What was that first opportunity?
So like the opportunity was that I was able to reap the benefit of a rich life. to reap the benefit, to advance myself, the opportunity to become a productive individual.
And to contribute.
Exactly, that's right.
And you worked hard.
Let me put that other way. I was able to fool people that think that I was working hard.
Did I fool you that I worked hard?
Something like that. Something like that.
I learned from the best then.
Like I said, that I don't have a regret whatsoever. I feel very, very blessed, even today, like every day.
When you say that you got an opportunity to live a rich life, what does that mean, a rich and a wealthy life? What does that mean to you?
At this time, right now, I don't have to worry about tomorrow. And not too many people in this world is able, some people that they're worried about how I will make the next day. Will I be able to earn enough money to feed my family, able to pay my taxes. I don't have that, no, worried nothing like that anymore. I feel like very fortunate, like I say, I reap the benefit of a long life.
And you've had an opportunity to touch a lot of people's lives.
Yeah. And that brings me a pleasure. It's much better to give than to receive.
It's much better to give than receive.
Exactly, that's right.
Well, you and your wife Sherry used to work a lot in helping people, whether it was the African American community or giving back. She in particular did a lot.
Yeah. She done more than me, and like I said, she was a big part of my life. That she was very, very active in more than one way. And but anyway, like I said, there's a beginning and end of everything. But the main thing, the journey from the beginning to the end, what happened in between, from the beginning and the end.
What advice would you give to someone who's just starting out, maybe in their 20s or their 30s, and they're...
They made the advice, work hard. Life's not easy. And harder you work, you reap the benefit of it. And later on, there's a pleasure what you give. And what I find is much better to give than to receive.
So give to others.
Exactly.
And
right.
One of the things that I see so many times is many people quit right before they're going to have success. They do work in a sprint, and they don't work that extra amount in order to achieve whatever it is that they want.
You have to overcome that hurdle. Don't stop. That you feel like you reach the top. You get over that and just keep going and keep going, like the energized bunny. Just keep going.
Keep going and going and going.
Exactly, and that's what success means. Just keep going, and more you give, more benefit you reap.
The more you give to others, the more benefits you reap.
That's right, right.
When you look back over your life, what are a couple of your greatest moments, whether it's your work, family? What are some of your greatest achievements, I should say?
Family. Family means everything. Family, when you are full, when you got everything. Without family, life is kind of empty.
What other advice would you want to give to someone who is watching this? They're getting started in their career, or they're already having success, and sometimes they're having a lot of financial success, but just because someone has financial success doesn't mean that they're happy. What should they do?
Now, number one, honesty is very, very, very important. But keep going, keep going, keep going. Just never stop. And there's always a place when you can help somebody else, and helping somebody else, it gives you more and more pleasure. There are always needy people in this world who not as fortunate as I am, not as qualified mentally or financially, and I cannot repeat myself. It's much better than to give than to receive, and giving gives me a big pleasure.
One of the things I always tell people is to give without the expectation of anything in return.
It's much better to give and not to think about giving it back.
Now, I have a daughter who's 22 years old and a son who's 19 years old. What would be the best advice that you would give me that I can give to my children?
Unconditional love. Unconditional love, because they deserve it. And by loving and ask them to work hard, because something comes easy to you, there's no value, nothing in this life means free. There's no such a thing as free. Something always is connected. If you get back, it's a plus. But don't expect, don't even think that I want it back. Help anyway, like advice, financial, give them. And it makes me feel when I see somebody ask me for advice, that they're able to help them, and it makes me feel better to give good advice for them to achieve something.
Well,
it's to open up to you. I don't want like it was a CNN center when you came to visit me. I don't remember how it was. But then anyway, you were always very, very positive. You played a very positive role.
well, thank you very much. That actually means something to me. So thank you.
I expect a big check from you. On a serious level, it means a lot that I made the impact on you.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
You're immortalized. When I had an opportunity, I'll tell you this story. When I had an opportunity, I was given a prompt as far as, well, you can see the title, The Diamond from Within. So the title of the book was A Diamond from Within. When I was asked to write that chapter for The Diamond Within, I had to think of a story that related. And after you worked at Cisco Food Services, and then after you retired and worked for your son for a very short period of time, and I took you to lunch a couple times at CNN Center, we lost touch. And yet we never really lost touch, because the year that we were together, all the memories and the things that you were talking about today, working hard.
We were mentally connected.
We were mentally connected, working hard, always go above and beyond, do things that other people may not even expect you to do, to prove yourself, to prove your worth, so that way others will give you an opportunity. those are the things that I did all the time. And it made me think back to the time I jokingly say, and he really did say that you were a tough cookie, and I never looked at you that way. It's almost like the moment I met you, I felt a connection. There's something about you, and maybe it's because you had similar qualities to my grandfather, that it was about working hard. It was about doing the right thing. It was not worrying about what other people think. It's always do the right thing. So from the time I met with you, and then I met you one-on-one without my boss there, there's just that respect and admiration that I had for you, everything that you've done, what you had been through and achieved, in spite of what other people could ever imagine that you could achieve, that I held you on this platform, that whenever I had to look at how would I deal with the situation, I would always look, if Henry was on the other side of the table as my first customer ever, what would Henry expect me to do? So you set a standard for me when I was 22 years old that helped form who I became and enabled me for one company. I don't know if I ever told you this. For one company, I grew a business that grew to $45 million for them. I grew after that an 8-figure business, and obviously I have a very successful agency that gets to now help other entrepreneurs be success. And nothing can be built well without a solid foundation.
That's right.
And in my working world, you were my foundation. You helped me build that solid foundation that I've been able to build success upon success upon. So for that, I'm grateful to you.
I'm waiting for a big check.
I told you, I'll throw you the check. So thank you so much.
I'm very, very honored. And like I said, my biggest pleasure is in lifetime when I look back that bang in my head that I was part of his kept to a plateau when he's so successful. It's made me a pleasure that I've been a small part of it. And that's how I feel about you.
Well, thank you. One of the things that you think about this, we all, every person that we meet every day, every person that we have a conversation with, every person that we interact with, we really have an opportunity to change the shape of their life going forward and how we communicate and how we interact with them.
That's right. And don't look for petty things. To see the goodness in the individual. Don't look for a fault. To reckon the goodness and to be more positive about it, because I feel like the life is the cup always half full, not half empty. See the goodness in the individual. Don't criticize. Don't look for the fault, and see how I can get that individual to be a better one. And that, like I said, I may repeat myself. It give me a big pleasure to look back that I was a small part, that I was able to make them, the person, a better one. Because that makes me feel better. Like it's much better to give than to receive.
Absolutely. So thank you again, Henry.
My pleasure. My pleasure.